Speaking of really terrible, annoying, awful people, I just looked back up to confirm, make sure. And that guy, Steve, on your season 5, he is the dickhead that we talked about, I think, on PKN, where he was in there for maybe 3 hours, and then a couple of inmates, first of all, he's covered up like a bitch, just saying, and his cover story is that he's listening for contraband info, and then a couple of inmates in there start fucking with him and saying, like, yeah, we're bringing acid into the prison, and because they know they're being
and he
filmed.
thought it was like the biggest find in the history of freaking prison finds.
Oh, yeah. And we know how big of a problem LSD is in our prison system. You hear about it nonstop, and he thought that they were being real when it's like you dip a birthday card in LSD, and then you spray a little bit of Dolce & Gabbana on there, and then ship it in there, and then I guess everybody's tripping. Like, and then he immediately does the my neck. My fucking neck or my shoulder. Oh shit, my shoulder. What was when you finally saw him, I guess, on the footage or in that little round table, what was your kind of perspective on it? Was it just, this guy's a bitch?
Okay, this guy, just to let you know that when you guys watched the reunion, or the round table, as you called it, we didn't know about him until the reunion. And man, the guy actually had as crazy as it sounds, he had a good edit from the reunion.
Really? He looked terrible.
He was even a bigger D-bag, man. And in fact, I'll actually share some other stuff with you guys before we get done with this conversation about him, just to show you how big of a D-bag he is. Mm-hmm. But he just came in blaming everybody but himself, blaming production, talking about how when they pulled him out, he jumped the producer, and I'm like, no, you didn't, dude, because you would have really like been in Pinal County, like for real. Yeah, that would be kind of cool though. He'd be the first.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Series history.
First guy to go to prison.
But yeah, man, he came in, he was arrogant, and he was even worse than, as I said, the reunion portrayed, because I think they were because they started naming names of production people, and so they took all that out. In fact, when he left, because he only came in for a segment, we filmed for about 12 hours in New York, the reunion episode, and he was there for an hour. And they actually pulled him out and chauffeured him out before they'd even let us get a break. But the guy's just, I'm the king of second chances, and I guess it's because of my faith or whatnot that I try to give everyone a second chance. But he recently faked his own death.
What did he do?
No one noticed.
No one noticed.
He got distraught when he realized there wasn't a funeral. They had a barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, we had a going away party on the day after he died. No, but yeah. So he just I woke up and a fan sent me this obituary, and I was like, man, it sucks, dude. I don't wish any ill will, no matter how much I don't like you. I never wish ill will on somebody. And that's exactly what happened here. Is I woke up to an obituary and I freaked out. So I started trying to call him and all this. He wouldn't answer. He turned his Facebook page into a, what do you call it, remembering me Facebook page.
What an answer!
Like, oh my god. So I actually, I was freaked out, man, and so I posted on his Facebook page, and some of his friends, man, hit me up on Messenger. This is how big of a D-bag he is, and they're like, oh my gosh, I've known him for like freaking 20, 30, 40 years, man, and so I had this girl, and she just like wigged out on me, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I just posted it because a fan told me that he, showed me his obituary. And she's like, oh my God, I'm going to go to his house. I'm going to go check it out and all this stuff. And I go to work, and I come out of work, and I have a message about how big of an a-hole I was, and this, that, and the other, because I freaked her out because he wasn't really dead. Like,
did you figure out why he did it?
Nah, he's still supposedly dead. So
well, he's still playing dead, so we can't get a word out of him.
Yeah, sticking with a failed fake death, pretty ballsy.
Yeah, he's playing it out to the extreme. I even called, and a girl picked up his phone, and she's like, yeah, I'll have him call you back. And he's never called me back, so I guess he's still dead.
Of course not, he's dead.
So it is what it is. he's even a bigger jerk in real life.
Is he the one that was the private eye, Taylor?
Yeah. He was the one really going in, just saying
Yes.
he was hard as shit and
He was
that
the
he
ringer.
had been, I've been attacked while tailing people. And my first thought was, then you're a bad PI
Mm-hmm.
because you shouldn't be tailing them to the point that they get so upset. They not only lose you, they get out, confront you, and beat you up. You're a bad private investigator. So yeah,
Sounds
that
about
guy
right.
sucked. He was my least favorite. He lowest in the power rankings by far.
I don't. Well, if we're going on the whole show,
No, you go by season. Otherwise, it's
okay.
just convoluted.
Because remember, there was that one guy who didn't even make it into the pod. Like
Gerson.
he cracked in the holding cell.
No, he
And
cracked at a Marriott. He didn't even get in.
Oh, I wasn't even going to make fun of that poor little man.
Yeah, he didn't even make it in. He was at the hotel.
That little man did not need to be in there. And I've called him little man
Yeah.
3 times in a row now for a very good reason. He is the most tiny human being I've ever seen who didn't. How did you see that guy with your own eyes? How tiny is he?
I don't know if he was on the same season as.
Yeah, I didn't think he was, but he knew his name, so that led me astray.
When he was given his excuse, he said, "I'm 5'3" and little."
I will give.
We're losing you a bit, Mark. We lost you on that one.
He knew his limitations. Oh, are you? Hello.
Yeah, I think you're okay. Yeah, you were saying he knew his limitations.
Well, he didn't before he signed up.
He learned his limitations.
He learned as he was watching free porn at that Marriott that night.
Did he do that?
I don't know if he did that, but he
no idea.
he failed at the Marriott. He didn't even get pretend arrested yet. He said, "I don't really want to do it, and I just want to go back to my job making candy at the Wonka factory. I don't like here. This is a bad idea."
If you guys,
We can hear you now. Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to give the guy credit where credit's due, though. He knew his limitations. Because let's be honest, if he had gone into Fulton County, and I'm from the Atlanta, Georgia area, so I know Fulton County, dude, I wouldn't have called. In fact, just to give you kind of a heads up, when you go through the whole interview process, the only reason why I agreed to go to Pinal County is I did some research. If they told me like Fulton County or doggone Rikers Island or LA County, I wouldn't have done it. But
Yeah.
so I give the guy at least credit to say, hey, I can't do this.
That guy's biggest
So-
limitation is being able to get on roller coasters.
Jesus, Taylor.
Why can't I ride the Batman? You're way nicer than me. Fuck that guy. You were not entertaining in any way. You should have left the spot open for someone who would have taken it more seriously. Because there was someone who got booted from that shit who would have actually given a fuck. And that guy, that was disappointing. But
Are you sure that he wasn't good content in a different way? You know, like not everyone needs to be a surprise success. That's just one piece of the puzzle in a good show.
I now agree with you. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you look at the casting of each season, we're all pretty much the same people. They have to cast the tough guy. They got to cast the awkward, weird guy. For me, I can think of past people. A lot of people have compared me because they say I look like Jeff from season 1. And Jeff's a great dude. Jeff's the guy that got hit. He was the security guard that wanted to be the corrections officer.
Oh.
But you always have the goofy guy, which was me, and I guess Jeff and Matt's son from season 5. The father-son couple. They have. It seems like they have their own stereotypes that they want to put in, and but I think it's here that really dictates how well you'll do.
Who was the really athletic black guy, Taylor?
If you remember, Mark, tell me. Which season? On Mark's season?
My seasons are a little mixed up. I watched him on your stream though.
Then it was either seasons 3. It was probably seasons 5.
He might have been a cop or one of
David. You're talking about David.
Yeah, David.
How did he do? He was super strong. He was jacked. I think I called him a wide receiver on a different episode. Like he looked like he could be a pro athlete.
Very fit. Very fit. Yeah. Mark's take on it.
I love David. I mean, honestly, a lot of people talk smack about David because of how our season ended. And Woody, I don't know if you remember, but David was the guy that he blew the whole season. He told the corrections officer who he was, and then he told one of the inmates who he was, who in turn went over back to Abner's pod because him and Abner had beef in the beginning, and then started getting everybody, telling everybody that there was more to Abner than met the eye, and almost got him jumped. So Abner actually had to tap out. In fact, that's my source of pride. I'm the big goofy guy, but I'm the last male to get pulled from the pod from my season. So
nice little badge you got. It's true.
A lot of people talk smack about him. I don't know what happened. He denies a lot of it, and to be honest, with so much editing on the show, some of us don't know what to believe. Whereas, how much is truth, how much is editing? And because he claims a lot of it didn't happen. But what I do know for a fact is I was with him. I love all my participants, every single one of them. But the only participant I saw on a consistent basis after the hotel and after going into jail was David. And I think the world of David. David's a great dude. He's a solid dude. He's still in law enforcement. And I know he gets a lot of hate from the public as being the guy to screw up our season, because as a result of what he did, we all got pulled. But I think the world of David, man.
Do you know your scheduled last date? Like, are you looking in there saying this is the day I get out and trying to make it to that?
They don't tell you when you're going to get out. They just say it's going to be between this day and this day. So they don't tell you a specific date, but I did do little hash marks on the bottom of my bunk. I did little hash marks every single day, so I knew how many days I had in. So yeah,
I would think you get lost among other hash marks from previous, right? Or you just pick
there weren't a lot of hash marks, but there was a lot of I looked up at some devilish chick with big boobs the entire time. Yeah, that was
that was right on the scale.
He was a very talented artist, and so I put the hash marks right on her chest.
Yeah. Well, you deprived yourself of a big-titted demon. Apparently, that stinks.
Well, I tried to give her Bible study, but she didn't talk.
Yeah, she was like the way they made it look in the show. I am so disappointed, and that's the biggest thing to me. I wanted to ask about the Bible study thing, and we did, and knowing that 7 to 15 people would show up for that, and they made you look like an absolute goober, that's really unfair.
That's not cool. Yeah.
That's part of TV magic.
Lots of people talking about how good his Bible studies were. Lots of people. Andy's too afraid. Andy won't show it.
They were the greatest Bible studies in the history of all Bible studies.
I've never read it before personally. It's long and boring. Fuck that. Lots of good lessons. Lots of good stuff in there. Again before election season.
Yeah, when I watched it, honestly, it did tick me off.